If you ever look through the amendments to the United States Constitution, you will see a common expression that gives, in a number of the amendments, a time period within which the amendment has to be ratified in order to be valid. This arises for several reasons, but primarily out of the fact that the Fifth Article of the United States Constitution, which creates how amendments are passed, does not put a time limit on it. So, quick review. Congress has to agree by 2/3 to any change to the Constitution, and then they have to put it out to the states, who have to agree by a 3/4 majority to ratify that constitutional amendment. Congress can put out an amendment and it can sit for several hundred years before it's ratified by 3/4 of the states. States can be added, could even be taken away theoretically from the Union, and that amendment's still dangling out there waiting to be ratified. This happened with the 27th Amendment, which was put out with the Bill of Rights, but wasn't ratified until the 1990s as a part of the Constitution. It hung around for well over 150 years waiting for the final ratification by the states. These sorts of situations arise more often in situations where the amendment is controversial. So the Equal Rights Amendment is an example. Back in the 60s and 70s, it had a time limit on it, and it was very controversial when it expired because Congress actually tried to pass an extension and say, we're going to allow more time for it to be ratified. And there's a question of whether that would even be constitutionally valid. The first time that the Congress ever put a time limit on a constitutional amendment was the 21st Amendment to repeal prohibition. It was a controversial motion, and so they said, how about we just put a time limit? That way, if everybody can agree within 7 years to repeal prohibition, then it will stand. As it turned out, the people needed less than a year to agree that they wanted their alcohol back, and so that wasn't a problem. From then on, it's become a tradition that Congress often includes this language limiting things to that 7-year time frame. But Congress can pick any time frame or none at all and leave it open for however long that they want. This is probably something that should be changed in the Constitution itself. Constitutional amendments probably should come with some sort of a time limit as to how long the states have to approve it, but so far, nobody's taken up the effort to try to change that in the Constitution.